In just a few moments, I'm going to share the #1 reason why most people end up making the same mistakes, and oftentimes their pain keeps coming back. So stay tuned. So in this training, I'm going to share with you the #1 reason why pain keeps coming back. This is what I feel that 90% of busy parents do, because we're oftentimes time strapped and oftentimes we're looking for the easiest way out. We're looking for the most convenient, or we're looking for the quickest fix. And this is common. This is just what human behavior looks like, is that we want things quickly. Nowadays, when we have our phones and our social media and apps, we even have Amazon Prime that sends us things that in less than a day or two, is that we're looking for the quickest way out. And to be honest, if you're always going to be searching for the quick fix, you're never going to see the long-term gains that you want to. And this ends up actually creating more constraints around how much money you're spending on pain relief, how much time you're spending trying to get rid of your pain. But if you're willing to search for the long-term fixes, the ones that sometimes are harder to achieve, but you're gonna see longer term gains. So let's dive into this now. In this training for day 2 of our pain relief series, we're going to dive into why people are oftentimes stuck in pain and what you can do to actually fix it. So if you are going to find this training helpful, make sure to subscribe and also to click that bell notification so that way you never miss out on any of our new content, because we do upload videos weekly, Mondays at 5 p.m. All right, so the #1 reason why most people stay stuck in pain is because we're searching for what we call passive modalities. I'm going to share what passive means and why that is something that you might want to think about. So passive means that you are a recipient of treatment, and being a recipient is not a bad thing. So for example, if you're ordering an Uber, is that you're not putting in the active effort of actually driving, you're simply just having somebody pick you up. And there is a sense of convenience, but imagine if you did Uber the rest of your life. You may lose the ability to drive, or let's say if you never learned to drive, is that you'll never have that capacity of independence. And so if you are subjecting yourself to simply just seeking out massages or chiropractic care or acupuncture, or even going to a physical therapist, but that physical therapist is 90% fully manual with just 1 to 2 exercises, you're really not going to gain a sense of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy means the belief in yourself that you are in control of your health, of your destiny, or being in control of pain yourself. So when you are being a passive recipient to some form of treatment, you're simply just giving a credit card. You're giving them your insurance. And then you lie down on the table and you get some form of treatment. Now, while this may not be a bad thing in isolation to get once in a while, you very much deserve, let's say, a massage once in a while, or you deserve to go to a chiropractic once in a while. Is that if you're just strictly relying on that in isolation without taking a more active approach, then you are really not learning anything to get rid of your pain. And that is the #1 mistake right there, is that 1, you're relying on passive treatments in order to get rid of your pain, and then #2, you're not gaining any knowledge of how to get rid of the pain yourself. And so if you do that, and if you are stricken to just this treatment, you potentially may become reliant or addicted to that specific treatment. And if that's the route you want to go, so be it. But if you're watching this on day 2 and you really want to learn how to fix the pain yourself, then make sure to stick around to the end of the video, because I'm going to give to you a very important tip that you can do in order to really gain control of the pain yourself. And so I want to share this in an analogy form, is that we've heard this before and I want to share this again. But if you ever heard of like a fish and a fisherman, is that, let's say there is a father and a son. And let's say the father catches the son a fish and he said, hey, I'm going to cook you up this fish and I'm going to let you eat this. So the son eats that, but he simply just eats for the day. And the moral of that is that you can give the person a fish, and the son may, again, if he just relies on that from day to day, he may gain the nutrients, but he's not really learning how to do that himself. However, if the father teaches the son to fish, is that he will eat for a lifetime, because he will maybe no longer need the father to help him to fish, and he'll be able to do that for a lifetime and even pass that on to future generations. In the same fashion, the way that I've always predicated my programs and the way that I help my clients is I never want people to rely on me in order to get rid of pain. Now, I might need to handhold them. I might need to teach them around some of the things we talked about day one, which is teaching them how to change their mindset, how to think about their inputs and not have as much outputs like we talked about in the previous video. If you haven't yet, make sure to click on the video here for day one and make sure to actually watch that video in full before you get into day two. But the other thing I want to teach is I want to make sure that that person has the independence, the capacity to do things on their own. So whether I see somebody in person or whether I treat them from an online basis, is I never want people to be fixated to my treatment. Because if I'm creating repeat offenders or if I'm creating somebody that's reliant on me for the treatment, I'm not doing a good job as a healthcare practitioner. From a moral standpoint, that's going to allow them to carry that forward on their own. Instead, I'm just creating a repeat customer over and over and over and over again without giving them all the necessary tools to take care of themselves. Okay, so just imagine that if you really want to be out of pain long-term, you really want to live a pain-free lifestyle, you don't want to consistently just drive from one place to another, continue to give your hard-earned dollars to some practitioner that is really not teaching you how to do it yourself, okay? So if you can't put needles in yourself, you can't put the ring dinger on your neck yourself, right? If you can't like crack and manipulate your own back yourself, okay, then you need to make sure that you can learn what you can do from a home standpoint. You can do it by yourself or you can do it in the gym yourself. And that is what I say is going to be the long-term fix for chronic pain, okay? Because with chronic pain, there's a sense of psychosocial addiction, right? We can become addicted to things, right? We can become addicted to our smartphone, and we can also be addicted to certain pain relief treatment, right? A lot of people get addicted to pain medication. I know that many people will perceive that pain medication is something that you don't want to rely on or don't want to be addicted to. Many people that I speak to on consultations will tell me, I don't want to take medication or I don't want to like use this long-term. And I know that most people have that, but in the same fashion, you don't want to be addicted to massages. You don't want to be addicted to chiropractic adjustments because that in itself is using the same amount of money, it's using the same amount of time, and you want to spend that time doing the activities that you love. You want to spend that time with the people that matter most to you. You want to instead not spend 2 hours per week driving to a pain relief treatment or pain relief clinic, and instead use that time to spend with your loved ones, right? That is a quality of life issue right there, okay? So I wanna really stress that point to you, that an active approach will always supersede or trump a passive approach. You can use a passive approach, but it always needs to be paired with an active treatment. So if you're going to seek out a massage, make sure you use that massage or that feeling of like feeling better and less pain, you use that as a means to get more active. But even if, let's say, you seek out a passive massage and you're making the same mistake over and over again, like you flare your body up or your body becomes in pain again, you're probably doing something wrong with that active approach. So maybe you're not strength training enough. Maybe you're not logging your exercises. Maybe you are overtraining all the time. Maybe like you get a massage on your legs and you decide to run the same intensity, the same exact distance, and your knees just hurt again. So you're needing to go back to that massage. Sometimes if that's the case, you might seek out somebody that's advanced in training or strength training or running, and making sure that you have a coach or you have somebody temporarily to really help you, to guide you and systematize a way that will help you to get stronger without the injuries or the flare, okay? So the action step for today is one, if you are seeking out a lot of passive modalities, is start to learn how to treat yourself. Now, I have a lot of other video trainings outside of this 5-day pain relief series that you can search out either in my fatherhood playlist or even in the Pain Relief Foundations. There's a lot of great videos there, but I'll share with you a resource in the description where it'll cover basically at least from head all the way down to toe. I'll share with you a resource called the Pain-Free Blueprint. Now, you can download that in the QR code up here, where you can actually simply just scan the QR code and then you'll get sent the pain-free blueprint directly to your email. This blueprint, in the middle of the series, there'll be a picture in the PDF where it'll tell you about 5 days worth of exercises, okay? So alongside this video series, you'll also have over 25 plus exercises that cover different pain points all the way from head down to toe. So whether you have ankle foot mobility issues or stiffness, or knee or hip issues, low back issues, upper back pain, shoulder pain, or neck pain, this is all going to be baked into my pain-free blueprint ebook that I'm going to give to you absolutely free. Okay, so I really hope that you'll take advantage of that ebook because it has 25 exercises step by step that you can take. And I actually explain it in exact details on how to do them properly. Okay, so your assignment for today is to download the ebook and then make sure to actually start implementing some of those exercises either at the end of your workday. Some of the exercises are actually very convenient and you can do it throughout your workday. And so this is going to be your way of taking a more active approach. And soon enough, if this 5-day series of exercises, these 25 exercises really help you, then you can slowly negate the need for some of these other passive treatments. Now, if you are somebody that is using this passive treatment once a week or once every other week or once a month, the goal for you is to therefore decrease your frequency of going to that passive treatment by at least half by the end of this week. Okay, because the 25 plus exercises or the ones that are specifically catered to your pain area should hopefully be doing some of the pain relief for you, and that is my free gift to you. You can simply just use these things for the rest of your life and start to learn and to integrate some of these exercises in the pain-free blueprint into your daily life, okay? So on day 3, I'm very excited for you to get into day 3 because we're going to go through many other ways in which we're going to change your mindset and also start to integrate some exercises further into your daily life. And we'll also be talking a little bit about ergonomics, considering that if you're watching this right now as a busy parent or a full-time working parent, is you're likely sitting at the desk. So on day 3, we'll be talking about a lot of different desk issues, ergonomic issues, and making sure that you can bulletproof your body even at work. So to get into that, but like I said, if you found this helpful, comment below. Please feel free to subscribe, click that bell notification so that you don't miss out on any great content because we post weekly Mondays at 5 p.m. So I'll see you on the next one.